We got a special treat for you on the Build Show. We're back at the concrete printed houses. That's right, we were here in the framing stage. And if you remember, this is a community of 4 houses being built, that the entire first floor on these houses has been printed by a 3D full-size printer. This is a really cool project. They're finished now, it's been a few months. They're actually on the market and they're for sale if you're interested. Today's Build Show, we're checking out some 3D printed houses from Aune. Let's get going. All right, guys, let me introduce you to Connor from Aune. Connor, nice job, dude.
Thank you.
Impressive. Connor's the builder from Aune that not only oversaw the printing, but really took it from there. And if you remember from our visit last time, guys, this is 3D printed first floor walls, but then we've got wood framing above for the second floor and for the roof. And Connor, I gotta say, this turned out beautiful, man.
I agree, Matt, I do.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Can we take a tour and take a look at some of the details?
I'd love to show you around.
All right, guys, walk with us. We're gonna show you. So first off, Connor, the first thing that I see that I really like is that you didn't cover up some of the imperfections.
Yeah.
You know, I know this is, you guys are only in business, what, 3 years now, 2
Yep,
years now?
3 years, that's right.
And so you're iterating this process. You're figuring out how to do them better and better. But like, look at this front wall here.
Yeah.
I'm noticing that the kind of marshmallow line is not perfect, and I like that.
Yeah, and I do too. I think that we're enjoying the process. We continue to grow and get better and get more productive. And so on this, you know, we want to show people what our process is. You know, we are laying concrete literally 1 inch at a time, and the proof is in the pudding, right?
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Now, there's a coating on top of this though, because when I was here last time, this was gray, you know, mortar concrete color, and you've got kind of a light gray. What's going on? What's the paint that's being used?
Yeah, so we've used an elastomeric waterproofing coating on top of this to make it a little more bomb-proof.
So just like a stucco project, right?
Yeah, that's
masonry.
Right. That's right.
You'd use elastomeric paint, and I think of elastomeric paint as having some crack spanning abilities and a little flexibility, right, to take care of movement.
Yep, and so we leaned into that to kind of bridge these gaps between our beads. We're actually really confident in our beads, and with each project that gets better and better, kind of the waterproofing ability, but not taking it, not leaving it to chance on this
smart.
one.
The other thing I'm noticing, Connor, is it looks like there's a step in your foundation so that the outside elevation and the inside elevation is not flat. Is that right?
That's right. We on this one, the way we're handling water intrusion below the wall is to always print the wall on top of a step, or either on the edge of the slab or in the carport like it is now, so that if water wants to run, it is getting stopped by the slab itself, not the connection between the wall and the slab.
Right, just like in your garage, you're going to have a tire kick.
That's right.
Right, with an elevation before you get into the house. Same thing here.
Yep.
Now, front door, a beautiful door, by the way. It looks like a custom steel door.
It is,
I'm noticing something that I don't remember from before. What's going on with this edging that's around this door here and the steel buck?
Yeah, so you'll notice that our beads are not straight lines, right? Some building materials are straight lines, though. And so to bridge that gap, we're using kind of a masonry product. In this case, it's grout. That's kind of marrying up to the irregular beads, but also trims out nicely against this kind of hard steel.
That's smart. So is that basically just a stucco contractor, a mason, or somebody that's parging that for you?
Yep. A mason parged this. We did it before we painted so that the elastomeric paint kind of carries over the top of it to give it one monolithic surface. Yeah,
I like that. I also want to point out, just from a building science perspective, check out the cap he's got. This little wing wall here. You wouldn't want just a concrete cap on there. They got a metal cap on top to keep that water off of that wing wall. And that wing wall kind of shows the process without a window, which is kind of neat. Yeah. Because it gives you a little, you know, sorry for the pun, window into the construction process.
That's right.
And your concrete printing. And that being said, let's check out this window. So this is, I think, I remember seeing these lintels, or pardon me, this windowsill on site from construction. Did you make those with the printer, or did you guys fab those in another way?
We did. One of our incredibly skilled folks at Aune formed up a sill form. We poured Lavacrete, our proprietary mix, into these forms. It's set up, and so what we really appreciate and love about this little moment is that it's showing the flexibility of the material itself, right? This is a cementitious material. You're used to it. Every builder's used to it.
Yeah.
This isn't some crazy mix. It's not some plastic, right? You can build sills with it. You can pour slabs with it. You can print walls with it.
So Lavacrete is your proprietary name for the secret sauce, but there's some Portland cement, there's some aggregate, there's something in there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can't tell me everything.
I can't, right?
But that's that flowable mix that you see coming out of the nozzle that printed these walls, right?
It is. What we take pride in is that we're using material that is so ubiquitous, right?
Yeah.
This material has been used for thousands of years.
Yeah.
What we're also proud of is our brilliant team of scientists that are iterating and creating new mixes. You couldn't buy concrete down the street and run it through a concrete printer.
You didn't just buy a bag at the home center and drop it in the mixer.
So there are additives, the secret sauce that kind of help us do what we want to do with it. But
probably some super plasticizers. Don't tell anybody.
I did not.
I know.
I played the fifth, Matt.
I'm not
played
throwing
the
it
fifth.
in there. I'm just saying.
But
there's some pretty amazing concrete tech even in the last decade or two that I've learned about. And I'm not a concrete builder. I don't build commercial buildings. I build with wood. But I know there's some amazing tech there.
There is. It's incredible.
We're going to talk about this later, but I want to finish this outside tour. But let's not forget, I want to mention that most of the world builds with cementitious materials. You know, when I toured Germany, they were using insulated block materials. When I was in Haiti, they were using cinder blocks there to resist all the forces that happen in a country that gets pounded even just recently with another hurricane. So it's not unusual in most of the world to see masonry construction still to this day on brand new homes. It's unusual for us in America because we've been set up with amazing, number one, we have amazing wood resources in North America, and we've done a good job of maintaining those for us. But the resiliency here can't be overlooked, especially with everything that's happened in the news, Connor.
Yeah, do you mind if I speak to that?
Would you take that?
We're proud of that. Our process, our technology, our building science really lends itself to resiliency. And we want to continue to kind of design toward that. If you look around the world, kind of as you mentioned, you don't see stick frame and drywall houses standing for hundreds of years. You see masonry buildings. And so that's what we want these houses to do. We want them to be able to stand the test of time first and foremost, but also high winds, flooding, fire, tornadoes, right? And so we think that this is a technology that not only helps us with labor shortages, with material shortages, but also with the natural disasters that we're seeing more and more often. And my heart goes out to Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana.
Oh man,
and
so our prayers are with those folks.
Absolutely.
And with all my friends that I met in Haiti there a couple of years ago too. They're having a hard time there. One thing that I like about this is we kind of scroll through here, Connor, is I like that you guys still have some of those imperfections. One of the architects I worked with a couple of years ago shared with me this Japanese term that I use a lot now called wabi-sabi.
Yeah.
And the term is like, the craftsman who makes a minor mistake, you leave it. You don't cover everything.
That's right.
And when I look at this wall, it's pretty darn perfect here. I mean, this is like as good as it gets.
Yeah.
But when you round the corner and you see, some imperfection in the bead, or here's a little minor imperfection. I like that you didn't cover that or try and parge that or fix that. Sometimes when I think of 3D printing or router carved doors or MDF products that were carved by a computer, they're almost too perfect.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is it feels a little human to me.
That's right. And you kind of brought it up with the exposed window, right? I think we, on these specifically, we want to invite the homeowner into the process, right? And so if you're enjoying your home, if you're sitting on your porch with your kids or watching a movie with your husband or wife, you can kind of look at what was created around you and know that it was created by humans. It's an interesting juxtaposition because it was printed by machines, but humans were a part of that process, which we enjoy.
I like that. Can we go inside while we're talking?
Please. Yeah, it's a little warm out here.
Come on in, guys. Check this out. There are some really nice details on the inside, and I love that the walls are fully exposed in here too, Connor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there insulation in these walls?
There is.
Are we separated from the outside concrete to the inside concrete?
That's right. And something I think that's interesting about these walls and that we're still kind of studying is that it utilizes different types of kind of thermal protection. So we're utilizing thermal mass, obviously, with the concrete, right? Which kind of takes on heat slowly, sheds it slowly. You get a lot of benefits
kind
from
of the Adobe house.
The Adobe house, that's right. At the same time, we're kind of leaning into maybe what builders in this area are more used to, which is kind of this air break, right? We have open cell moisture resistant foam inside of these walls.
Gotcha.
And to build a comparable stick frame home, as you might know, with offsetting studs, it's a little wider. It takes a special framer and it costs a little more money. And so we're able to do that with our printer. Our printer doesn't mind what you tell it to do. It's just going to do it. And so
that's pretty
we've
cool.
leaned into that.
So as my hand is on this wall, it feels cold to me.
Yeah.
And that's because you've got this thickness of the bead, let's say as you're looking down on the wall, then you've got an air cavity that was filled with insulation, and then you've got a whole nother separate bead out there that both are structural, but they're not touching each other. That's pretty awesome.
That's right. Yep, completely. We are trying to avoid thermal bridging as much as we can, and everything from the geometry of the wall to the reinforcing that we use helps us with that effort.
Love it.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing conduit in before, but man, those turned out great. This one here, you also saw the Arlington inbox on the outside, which is that recessed electrical. Those turned out great, man. I love it.
Agreed. And this is something you're doing it, and you're wondering how it's going to turn on the back end, and then it's a finished product, and we think it finishes out nicely. And what we want to show is that while we may have to do some things differently and finish out some things differently, we also don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have electrical outlets in the wall that was installed during our framing process, right? Our printing process that ends up being a flush outlet.
But what's fun about you, Connor, is that you're not just the 3D guy, you also have the building knowledge.
Yeah.
And speaking of building knowledge that doesn't have anything to do with 3D printing, talk to me about this gorgeous floor. Did you just take your slab and grind it, or what's going on here?
It's pretty, huh?
It's real pretty.
We did not grind the slab down. We actually used a topping slab on this one. It has some nice aggregate. Actually, some of this is glass.
Is that right?
That it gives a little
slab.
reflective features. So it's about a half-inch topping slab. And we wanted to really invite in the kind of nature of what we're building with, right? We're using concrete on our walls, but we want to carry that into the floor.
And that also carries a resiliency story, right? If there was some terrible event and just 150 mile an hour winds came and blew water and blew out your windows even, this floor is not going to get ruined.
Matt, I was in Houston 5 years ago now for Hurricane Harvey.
Oh my gosh.
Lived through that event, and I can't tell you how many hours I spent helping folks clean out their
I mucked out houses in Houston too. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a wild ride.
Everyone's hardwood floors are in the trash.
Hardwood floors completely bowed, carpet, right, items like that. So we with every project, we want to kind of iterate in that direction. We want to invite warmth with our cabinetry and our ceilings, but like you said, the walls and floors are especially resilient.
That brings an interesting idea. What you could do in the future is if you knew that there was some possibility of flooding, you could concrete print the first 2 or 3 feet of interior walls too, potentially even, and then do drywall from there on up. So if this house flooded, these walls, these floors, totally fine. Let them dry out. They dry out naturally, bring a dehume in. This wall would have to get cut out from the sheetrock. We could concrete print the first couple feet of that. You'd be good to go.
I can't overspeak here, Matt. I don't know if you have a mole inside of our company. But,
I don't.
We have.
I've been enamored with your process for
We
a
have
while.
projects in the work specifically geared toward resiliency that will lean into kind of those design aspects that you're talking about.
That's great. I mean, Louisiana, Haiti, all these places need that resiliency.
That's right.
The curves into the windows also look like they have the kind of a stucco parch coat. Is that what's going on here too? Same thing?
I'm kind of calling that masonry trim, right?
Okay.
It's a little bolder, it's a little thicker. You do want to kind of draw the eye to it a little bit.
Yeah, there's no wood there either, right?
There's no wood.
Some kind of masonry as well.
It is. We wanted to really move away from the wood buck, right? Mm-hmm. That is very typical in CMU construction, but we have found...
that's right. There's no wood buck in there
There's no wood buck, right? It's window attached to printed bead, trimmed out with masonry. Again, very resilient, very long lasting, won't warp over time.
Maybe a good bead of sealant in there, and
you're done. There's sealant, there's foam and sealant behind it, kind of topped with this masonry trim, and again wrapped with this paint. So it ties together. Gives you different angles. It ties into the straight surface nicely, but also the irregular surface.
Nice window. What is this, by the way? I'm not familiar with this product.
This is a Renewal by Anderson window, and they have this kind of composite material.
Composite material.
Yeah, and excuse my lack of knowledge. I don't remember exactly what it's called.
But the point is, it's not wood, it's not metal, it's composite.
That's right.
So it won't rust. It won't.
That's right.
It's probably a little more thermally efficient.
Yeah, very long lasting.
Long lasting.
That's right.
I like it, man. Gorgeous house.
Thank you.
Interiors over here were done by
Claire Zinneker.
Yeah. And Fallon. I know Fallon, who works for Claire too.
Yeah.
Beautiful work by those guys.
That's right. Claire has been an incredible partner on this one. She has such an eye, and I think really leans into, if I may take a second, into what we want to embody, which is we're a company that was born out of Austin.
Yeah.
Right.
I loved your logo on the outside.
Yeah.
That you put right by the front door.
That's right.
In 100 years, people know this is an Icon house.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's for posterity. We want people to know. We also want them to know what printer printed it and how long it took and all of those things. So
that's cool.
We've tried to lean into kind of that Austin vibe, and Claire's helped us out a lot with that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to talk about the practical issue of pictures hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
But I know that you came up with a clever solution in the other unit. So let's go over there and we'll pick it up in the next house. All right, Connor, another fully finished unit that's right. I think this one's actually been sold already.
Yeah.
And I knew that you had done something special for hanging pictures and doing artwork. So most of the time when I think of masonry, I grew up in Pittsburgh where we had double wide masonry houses.
Yeah, that's right.
And we'd have to get out a hammer drill and put an anchor in of some sort. But you have an even cooler solution that I've never seen before. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, we really were thinking through how do we help homeowners avoid having to do that if they don't want to. Right.
Yeah.
And so what we kind of came up with, my partners Matt and Kyler helped me think through, along with Claire, is the picture rails up here. So we're using really minimalistic picture rails that kind of disappear into the trim up top.
That tiny little aluminum piece is actually a picture rail, isn't it?
That's right.
That's cool, man.
So easy to install, really lovely, and gives you a lot of options. We're hanging.
So it's right on top of your 1x2.
That's right.
And then this picture's hanging on it.
It is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So a little kind of clear acrylic looking hanger, or wire I should say, and then just a little tiny hook, and now this could come off the wall and go into another location.
There you go.
And there's not an anchor there anymore.
Yep.
Now I have no idea how to put it back, so I may have just messed up. However, I think it's cool. Not even close to level. Don't tell Claire and Fallon that I put it back that way.
I already have a headache, Matt. Oh my
but
God.
we can adjust that. But what a great solution. And what a cool little unit. These are beautiful houses with the exposed concrete walls on the inside. I absolutely love it. Connor, talk to me about the medallion out here by the front door. This is the one that I spent a fair amount of time with Jason, the founder or CEO of Icon, I should say. But the medallion was not on when I was here last.
No, we just got these guys on and love these little moments on these homes. This is an identifier for this home. Not only does it show you that this is an Icon home, but it's a unique Icon home. So this has a serial number on it.
Serial number on there.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is house number 20?
This is house number 20. We've done more structures than this, but this is home number 20 of our Icon build. And in so 200 years, you're going to be able to look up which printer printed it, when it printed it, how long it took, all the data about it.
That's really neat.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Let's go on the inside, but while we're walking, talk to me about other projects if you can. I know you guys have, it's been publicized, you have a contract with NASA about printing on Mars, and you have some military contracts.
Yeah.
There's more to this than just single family residential, right?
That's kind of the magic of the technology, is that it can be used in so many applications. We are so proud and thrilled about our NASA partnership, which
really cool.
As a space nerd myself, Jason Ballard is also, we have a team of just kind of space nerds.
Yeah, you got some really cool stuff happening.
Yeah, it's
but back to reality,
yeah.
Single family homes, check out the walls behind the kitchen cabinetry.
Yep.
And this wall was one that I walked out through construction. And I remember this one when I was here last, there's no roof on, the sunlight was coming down and beaming on me.
That's
and I thought this was such a cool thing in this small bedroom or home office space to see those curves. That's probably no big deal for your printer, right? To print that curve?
The printer doesn't mind if you ask it to print a straight line or a curve or a circle. It will do whatever you want it to do. And so it's a real benefit that we can kind of lean into those different shapes. I think as a company, another initiative of ours is to promote human health.
Yeah.
And so, just like resiliency is, cost savings, time savings, we want to empower builders to think about the health of humans. And I think aesthetics like this kind of lean into that, right? Humans like nice, easy lines, not hard 90s. And so we're proud of that.
Connor, amazing tour, man. Really appreciate it, brother. Thanks for giving me the tour.
Great to see you, Matt.
Beautiful work. I want to say a huge thanks to all my friends over at Icon. What a cool project, and to have the privilege of getting a behind the scenes tour, both under construction and completed. So cool. I also love the fact that these guys are based here in Austin, Texas, where I am. There's some really cool stuff happening in Austin, and this is the coolest of the cool. Stay tuned for more from these guys though. You know, one of the things that I love about every time I talk to these guys, they're always innovating. They always have interesting projects. As we mentioned earlier, they're working with NASA, they're working with the military, they're working with single family. My guess is they have other cool stuff in the works as well. So go follow them in social. We'll put a link below for all those outlets, but I believe it's at Icon 3D Tech on all the major social outlets. And guys, if you're not currently a Build Show subscriber, hit that subscribe button below. We've got new content every Tuesday and every Friday. Follow me on Twitter or Instagram, otherwise we'll see you next time on the Build Show. What's up guys? Quick interruption to today's video. You know, I don't know if you realize, but about 1.5 years ago, I started a website called buildshownetwork.com, where all these videos also live, but more importantly, I have several other contributors building like-minded videos to mine. You know, you're probably watching my videos because you're interested in building a healthy house, a durable house, an efficient house, a better built home than the standard house that we build in America. And on Build Show Network, currently I've got 4 other contributors shooting videos, which means on that website, I've got 6 new videos every single week. But starting this month, big announcement, I have 4 new contributors. So I'm gonna have 10 people contributing every single week a brand new video. And this week, the addition is a tradesman that I'm really excited about. Her name is Lydia Crowder. You might know her as Drywall Shorty on Instagram. She's based in Bozeman, Montana, and she's a 2nd-generation drywall contractor. Every single week, Lydia is going to be publishing a new video about her craft, talking about finishes on drywall and all the options out there, how to do a better, more efficient job, talking about productivity, talking about hanging, what type of sheetrock, what type of mud, what are the tools involved, and even getting into the business of contracting. She's a fantastic tradesman, a great model for men and women of all ages who might think about getting into that trade. So I'm really excited to announce Lydia Crowder once a week on buildshownetwork.com. Sign up for our newsletter. There'll be a link in the description below. Every single Friday, I send an email out at 9 a.m. and that's got all the new videos for the week on Build Show Network. That's the best way to know what's happening out there. Let's get back to today's video.